mixtapes. I don't have to wait, you know, I don't need to be quote unquote signed.
What was it like doing business with Dame Dash, somebody who would achieve what he achieves and is very opinionated at that?
Nobody's ever asked me that question. I talk about it. Dame never did anything directly harmful to me, but I did see things in the way that he moved that I don't think was good for business. He moved in a way where now that I'm been more established in business and I see the way things work, I can understand why certain things have not worked out for Dame. But based on the way he says things, that's the way he wanted it. And I kind of believe him, because when there's certain things, I remember certain deals and things that he had on the table, he basically just sabotaged them. Maybe it was on purpose. He didn't want to do the deals, but there were a lot of things that I thought was going to be beneficial for me and for the collective, because there were several artists that were signed. We're not signed, but we partnered with Dame. And it all just kind of crumbled. It all kind of fell apart. And it was because of, from my perspective, certain things that he was doing. I was just like, oh man, this is not going to work out well. So eventually my project was able to come out. I didn't sweat it that much because I was like, look, I'm doing an album with Ski Beats, who's a legendary producer. We have all these music videos that were shot. Ski took a real liking to me and what I was doing. So he was pushing for me like, yo, Lock is dope. Lock is dope. Let's do this. And I was very enthusiastic about what I was doing. So I was taking the songs that we were doing. I was shooting my own content aside from what they were doing. So I was like, I have all this content. I'm just going to flood YouTube, because I saw this is what was the way that was going. So when the deal fell apart, or when his situation, DD172, obviously doesn't exist anymore, when it crumbled, I already was set up for my next thing. I was like, I'm not tripping. I'm moving on, and which is what I did. But yeah, I looked at it as a learning experience, and nothing like negative came from me, other than it was just kind of disappointing how things went.
I know you said that just overall getting to see a lot of the way he moved though gave you a different vantage point of independent. Was there anything beyond that specifically that you took away? Maybe it was something he said, or just an additional insight that you were like, okay, like this is how I need to move from here on out, or this is just the most impactful piece of advice I got from this situation?
Man, I learned what not to do.
Okay.
I learned what not to do.
Just as important. That it is.
I saw what he was doing. I was like, nah, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this. But Dame, Dame, he's successful from the things he's created. Nobody can take that away from him. I never speak badly about it. It's just not the way I want to move and the way I want to do things, But I just remember like going to the studio where we all went, and I just go there one day and it's just boarded up. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what happened? It's just foreclosed. It's like shut down. I'm like, what's happening? Then we go to Brooklyn and we had to move over there. And then that ends up getting shut down. I'm like, why is everything getting shut down? And then business meetings and things. I'm just like seeing business executives pissed off. Like, yo, it's just his brash way of doing things. Obviously it rubs people the wrong way. And even some of the people who are working for them, they had a horrible taste in their mouth after dealing with him. And I had to smooth those relationships over because they had things that I needed. I'm like, yo, you guys shot my videos. These are my videos. I know you hate Dame, but can I still work something out to where I can and I end up working those things out, and it was all good. But those were the things that I just didn't feel like it worked out the best with his company.
I mean, you moved on from that. I think you got signed one more time. Right? You said so. That last situation, obviously, you did that, and then you left that situation. I guess question number one, I guess because that you got signed. I think that last time you said about 2015, something like that. You went through being signed once. Well, you were indie, were signed once. This other era in between, signed with Dame, or it was just a project. You weren't officially signed. You were still